We have a fantastic show today because we're welcoming a couple guests. So I'm going to add them to the stage right now. Welcome our friends from Trinket Studios, Tom and Eric. Let's set this up.
Why, hello.
I have to pull my cat out of the closet. I'll be right back.
Okay.
They're out of the closet.
Perfect.
Perfect way to start this. There we go.
We are professionals. Hey, Tom, Eric, how are you guys? Welcome.
Doing great. Thanks so much for having us.
Oh, it's awesome to have you guys. We've been fans of your work, and when we were presented with the opportunity to have you guys on the podcast, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. These guys seem like they're awesome. We love the games, and which we're going to talk about here in a second. And we always like having cool people on the show, and definitely going to be.
It doesn't happen most of the time.
It doesn't. So. We're not very cool. No, Midwestern.
We'll judge at the end.
Dad, everybody's uncle. JJ's a cool one. Tyler, you're there. You're there. Tyler.
Yeah, come here.
In your Kingdom Hearts shirt. That's how we.
Yeah.
We're judging the rooms carefully.
Yes. Yeah. Tyler. Yeah. Exactly. There you go. Jay. It goes from JJ to me to actually, you got some cool stuff back there too, Tyler. But yeah. Hey, Trinket Studios. Yeah, there you go. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Awesome to have you on. Let's see. I'm gonna put you guys. Let me see if I can drop myself down. Can I drop myself down here? I'll put myself right there. JJ, I'll put you right down there. Wow. Cool. All right, there you go. Okay. Right at the top there.
Tyler, you're an honorary member of the team.
All right.
Yes, there you go.
I'm going to learn how to code now.
Your name begins with a T, so it kind of fits in. No, so you guys have just recently put out Battle Suit Aces. I'm going to play the trailer here in the background while we're chatting. Let's see if it'll cooperate with me this time. All right, here we go. I'm gonna just play it that way. Bam. Okay, cool. And then we'll just kind of chat. So here's Battle Suit Aces. So first and foremost, welcome. I guess tell me a little bit about Battle Suit Aces, and we'll kind of get into a little bit of your guys' history.
Perfect. Yeah. So the core of Battle Suit Aces is that it's a narrative deck builder where the cards are pilots and their mechs. And we try to lean into all the mech fantasy, but also like say you upgrade your mechs and you fire super weapons and you find very, very powerful biomechanical mechs, but also it's all about the pilots. Like this is a big story. So it's a deck builder, but not a roguelite deck builder. It's a narrative deck builder. So you're picking pilots, bringing them onto your team from different factions and learning about their stories and experiencing this like grand epic story. That's kind of dynamic depending on what choices you make in the narrative and what characters, what cards you collect, and how you build your team.
Excellent. I was a huge fan of. I played a lot of Battle Chef. I think I have it on like 3 or 4 different platforms.
Thank you.
It's great. Handheld is where like for me just fits perfectly for Battle Chef Brigade. I think this is the same type of same type of experience. Got some hellos coming in here and there. So when I first saw you guys were working on this, I thought JJ, I think half our team or maybe all of our team is big into like mechs, right? We're always talking about cool Gundam stuff and Transformers and mechs and everything. So when you guys first showcased this a while back, instantly intrigued. So yeah, very cool. How long is I'm going to kind of throw some basic ones at you, but how long is was the project in development?
I think the easy answer is about 2 years. The more accurate answer is that Battle Chef Brigade was published by Adult Swim Games. They kind of like collapsed as we shipped Battle Chef Brigade. So we didn't have full control over the rights. And then we started prototyping all sorts of stuff. Like maybe we won't be able to do a DLC for it because the publisher doesn't exist and won't market it. And then sort of the pandemic happened and we ended up working for like embedding within this other indie team for 2 years. And this whole time we're like sort of prototyping a tactics, maybe card game, maybe a roguelite, maybe not game. And then when we finally left that and got back into action, we're like, oh, actually the cards should be characters and not guns. And then it was like, once we put that together, it was like, this is a game about characters. Then it was about 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, that's you mentioned it's a game about characters. You guys are really into, definitely the gameplay is a big part of it, obviously, but you've done so well in this character development across all your projects, really, and the whole narrative aspect and really kind of bonding with these characters. Like, how is that? What typically goes into developing the characters and kind of bringing them to life?
Yeah, so I've got a lot of freedom
Okay,
with
cool.
that, which is a double-edged sword because
Sure.
I can do anything, but not all my ideas are good. But yeah, it kind of is like they Tom and Ben, they trust me and they give me a lot of freedom to just first of all just draw and develop whatever character that I'd like. And usually it starts from the visual first. I have some kind of visual design I just want to express. And then once I get that initial concept, the personalities and everything, the backstories and all of where is this character going, it all starts to come together from there. But a lot of times it's like a visual design initially.
Oh, cool.
Eric might be a little humble here too. Like we all met at Wide Load, which was a Chicago studio founded by Alex Ropian after he left Microsoft after founding Bungie and selling it to Microsoft. He came back to Chicago, started Wide Load. We all ended up there. A month after I started, it got bought by Disney, and Eric then a month later was brought on as sort of a character concept artist.
Yeah, that's right.
And so like characters are Eric's thing, one of many things that he's extremely good at, but like characters is clearly like we should build a studio around that.
Oh, cool. Cool. That's awesome. That you don't always hear that, right? It's let's build around these characters and start developing from there.
And freedom wise, like there's so much like designing Hulk's pants or something you can do with like we were making Disney mobile games for a bit and it was like there's not a lot of freedom sometimes when the Marvel execs need to greenlight things.
JJ's our Disney guy, so he totally understands that.
There was a specific shade of purple his pants need to be, man, and if you're not
Yeah, absolutely. Like we would have I think you would call them producers, maybe managers that would fly from California to Chicago and walk up behind me and be like,
just hover.
I think that crystal should be purple instead of red, like that kind of thing.
Wow.
So it was tough.
So you get into this, you get into developing, more of these character based games, which I think is definitely what's kind of setting you guys apart, which I think is really cool. That's really even watching these trailers, but I think the general consensus from when I've been chatting with folks online is instantly people are just mentioning their favorite characters within the game, and I think that's really cool. I know JJ was already chatting it in our Discord and some of the review stuff we were doing. He's like, you should see this dude, and that dude, and this person, that person. They're really good. So, how have you guys been like with the general response from like fans and gamers and players and stuff that how are they gravitating towards the characters? Are there certain characters that they're kind of leaning towards, or are there these metas, or are there memes popping up?
The biggest thing, which is kind of fun, but also kind of terrifying for game balance, there are cards that are more game breaking than others. And on the one hand, that's like bad. Like you don't want someone to just be like, the guide for this game is always get these characters and you win. Sure. On the other hand, it's a single player game, and so it doesn't need to be balanced like a PvP game or something. And it's really fun when someone discovers like that clever strategy on their own. Like they discover like this card and this with this item in there against some of these enemies, it's going to work super well. That's really fun when people discover on their own. So we have the decision of like, okay, people really love this card, but do they love it for the right reasons?
For the intended purpose. Yeah.
Do they really love these characters, or they just love winning? So some of that we're still like deciding about the live service nature of this kind of thing. You're like, okay, we could nerf that card.
The card designs are terrific. Like, well, how long does it take you guys to really? I mean, do you have months and months of meetings just kind of going through and just planning out like on? I mean, do you physically make the cards and work from that way too? And what's
early
some of the
there's that extended prototyping phase. There was a phase when we had index cards and like little tokens and we were playing on our table in our office.
Okay.
But eventually, and that really helped. The energy system really came from that period. But eventually we're like, wait a second, we keep making this into a PvP game, and the balance, that's not how you should be playing this game. Like, there's a single player game, it should be asymmetrical. Like, it's not fun if both players are starting out slowly and building up. You want to have like the roller coaster of emotions during a battle where like, oh no, the enemy has, like, they ambushed us, they have more cards out. And then you start building up your power, you start overcoming, they get one more chance to push a big wave against you, and then you crush them. And like, some battles have different flows, but you want to have that core like emotional roller coaster happening in these battles, and not just like the same exact battle. That the battle types can't be the same as like when you're playing Hearthstone or Magic against someone. It needs to feel more like you're the clever one reacting to things, not being utterly surprised.
And that's something, and again, and JJ had mentioned this, like there's it's, I think what's compelling about it, it's not just a card game, right? Like you're putting weight into every card battle, into every interaction. So that is really fascinating to hear from that standpoint. It's like it's not just A beats B, B beats C, C beats A. It's sort of this real kind of storytelling built in.
It's fun to like see how the cards work with one another. Like who works best with who gives the best buff for this particular character or whatever. Like has the best like, okay, so the drone card, the way the energy works in the game is really because everything makes sense in terms of, in a lot of card games, especially digital card games, things like mana and energy and stuff don't really make a lot of sense in the world that you're in. But when you're playing it like this, it's like, well, you're just seeing what they're seeing as cards. As the player, it's represented as cards, but to them, it's like, no, these are like your partner. This is the energy, of course, energy. It makes sense. That's how the weapons work. That's how these things work. And of course, like the drones early on, that's one of the things, the drones like blow you up with energy and stuff. And it's a good way of talking to the player. I feel like I picked up on at least the basics of it, like out the gate. Like you did a really good job, especially since you cut out a lot of the setup and sort of the fat out of what a deck building game is like. There's not, like you said, there's not a lot of the same stuff that you expect out of like a Hearthstone, where it's like, well, I gotta set up my field, I have to get my land ready, I have to
we have a habit of sort of mashing up things a little bit, or defying genre a little bit, and so we learned that really heavily with Battle Chef Brigade, which had a very long life cycle, where you're like taking it to PAX pre-pandemic in the good old days, and you're like, oh, people didn't understand that, and like you have to really teach them, like, okay, this is how hunting works and this is how cooking works. And so I think that really exercised that tutorialization muscle, where like you got to spread things out, you got to make it interesting, you got to repeat it in multiple different ways, make it flow, and not be like, learn this thing right now.
Very cool.
12 windows of tutorial bubbles that just go one in the brain and out the other. Like every time I try to learn Mahjong in Yakuza, it just doesn't work.
Yep.
Cool.
How does going to PAX, like bringing things to PAX? We never get to really talk to. We always talk to them on the show floor, but we never get to like sit down and
when their voices are gone.
Yeah.
It was there's not much more valuable than just seeing a random player experience the beginning of a game, and it highlights the problems immediately. Like the problems that we think are most important are usually super esoteric and not important to the players, and it's so easy to get bogged down in like, oh, does this card do the right amount of damage, or like, does this parallax look cool enough? But a player will come and be like, what am I trying to do? Like, how do I win? What am I shooting? How do I shoot? Like, those are the things you need to be focusing on for a long time. And so playtesting, we tried to replace some of that with like Steam demos can help with that. But watching someone play is just the best by far because it's the real thing.
I've definitely had people like look over my shoulder. Like I don't know what you've done.
Do you stand with like a notepad or just like tap on your phone?
Oh yeah, We make pages and pages of notes, and it's really hard not to react and be like, just click that thing. But you got to see, like, can they figure it out? Because that might be the hint to like the right thing to add to fix our problem.
Yeah,
but it can be hard.
I love the visual style and the aesthetic. It definitely has that sort of, to me, it has that 80s anime that I used to grow up watching when I was a wee lad.
I'd say more 90s.
Okay.
Early 90s.
Late 80s. Early 90s. No, but it has that really cool aesthetic that and the music too, by the soundtrack is fantastic. Who handles
that's Carlos Eni, Insane in the Rain on YouTube.
Awesome.
And that was a dream come true. Our audio director, Akash the Car, was like, okay, like, have you figured out who we're going to use for music? And Eric was like, there's like maybe someone like Insane in the Rain. Have you seen him on YouTube? And Akash was like, oh yeah, he lives down the street. I can text him.
I'll text him right over.
Not even like, I was like, you know who I think would be great? I was like, Insane in the Rain. And then he was like, yeah, I know him. So that was an amazing hookup. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's so good. It's great. It's so
and
good.
Like he's made a couple like behind the scenes videos, like showing him he plays almost all the instruments. There were like 6 sort of subcontractor musicians that we needed for a couple of the very esoteric instruments he wanted, and some normal ones. Like, he's not the best violinist, but he plays, I don't know, 20 instruments or something on the soundtrack. So so much of it is live. It's incredible.
Wow.
That's cool.
I was playing it on my Steam Deck, and I kind of just set it down, and it wasn't intentional, but next thing you know, it's just been kind of the same track has been sort of looping in the background of what I'm doing for an hour, and it could have gone on for another couple hours, and I would have been perfectly okay with that.
Yeah,
sweet.
That's when your game and the music are working out. Like, I might be like trying to fix some bug, and then I just start playing the game instead of reproducing it. And I'm like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be testing right now. And then same with the music. If I leave it on, I'm like, oh, I don't want to stop like the editor play mode because I'm listening to the music.
Right. Oh, geez. I kind of brought up the aesthetic a little bit and the audio only because like it has such a cool, striking style. Like one of the questions that came in is if you had an animation studio that could adapt some of your work, like, like this or something else into film or TV, would you guys, is there like a dream team or dream company or studio that would, outside of Disney, of course, that would work on your.
Hey, apparently Disney's doing a Death Stranding anime, so
there you go.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. I have an answer for both games too. So cool. For Battle Chef, I would. So this is a little, I guess, ironic, but it would be Studio Trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
But they're already doing Delicious in Dungeon, so it's like they've already covered that material.
Why would let them have 2 food animes? Not a big deal.
Yeah. You could never have enough, right?
Right.
But yeah, I think they would be amazing for that. And then for Battlestar Aces, Bones Studio, so they did Eureka 7, Space Dandy, Escaflowne. So yeah, that would be my picks.
Awesome. I think those are solid, definitely. One of the questions we have sort of related to, just real quick, I want to bounce back into some of the gameplay and stuff. What's sort of a mechanic or a design choice that maybe, I mean, you mentioned you had a lot of playtesting, but was there something that you guys cut or that you really want to look at, or something that you couldn't get in that you want to get into a future or a next game or next project?
The The biggest one here with all these characters, we wanted to have more character relationships, like sort of like dating sim stuff, but also like friendshipy kind of stuff. More of the dating sim style mechanics, and we just did not figure it out. Like we wanted to, a big thing in our design was like we want the gameplay, like the card gameplay, to influence the story and vice versa. So if you're like, I love this character, you're gonna like get more of their story. And so we have the like ambition system where like your card, if you sort of like per card achievements, if you do their like main thing really well, then you can unlock their crew mission and go deeper on their story. And as you upgrade them, they might comment more when you're in like on the ship about what's going on, and you'll see more and more of them for just somewhat making those decisions. But we didn't get to the point where you're like giving people gifts, and then like be like, these two are now best friends and there's a super combo move they can do. We like never figured out how to make that, like when your cast is this large, it was like, okay, how do we do this? and we were already way out of scope this whole time. So stuff like that really felt like we had to cut it fairly early on, but it would be really cool with this cast to get deeper into those relationships.
Way out of scope is probably something that happens a lot when you're developing a game. You're like, oh man, parking lot that for the next one. Is there like another? I mean, you've done chefs, sci-fi, battle mechs, and you're mentioning a lot of story-based stuff, which I think is cool. Are there other themes or sort of genres that you guys would be exploring? I mean, I'd imagine you probably have like several stacks of paper and books of stuff that you've already been noodling on. So I know you can't give away too much, but I'm just curious if there's been other types of things or influences that are popping in.
We've definitely had a sort of a lot of inspiration from TV shows. Battle Chef came very much out of Master Chef and Iron Chef. And like we would pitch it as like it's a fantasy cooking competition, but I don't know what and Battlesuit Aces came out of obviously a lot of anime, but also Star Trek was our big like pandemic rewatch.
Yep.
So that was like for a while Battlesuit Aces was called Mech Trek, and when we were pitching it, which I still maybe still would have been the best name.
It's actually a really good name, to be fair.
Yeah. But, we're hoping to get the battle thing between our.
I was gonna say
it's
the end game to make battle just sort of like the
that's a good
actually
theory.
Our end game was actually like our first mobile game was Color Sheep, so we had C and then we had Battle Chef, and then we're like, let's do an A game, because every now and then games get like listed in alphabetical order, and we're like, well, we're at the top of this alphabetical list, but we could not come up with an A name. So there's like, I would guess like something from TV, like reality TV is something we haven't explored, and it's like
there's the Love is Blind game.
Hard-based 90-day fiance.
90-day fiance.
Yeah, like there's something like it would be really fun to make a game like that, because it just wouldn't be serious at all.
that'd be a blast. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, for myself, I think I'm really into westerns. So yeah, that kind of atmosphere and setting. I don't actually know if that would translate well to the type of game Trinket makes, but yeah, that's a cool space.
Sweet. I think westerns are sort of coming back into style pretty quickly here with a lot of the stuff. That's sweet. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've been trying to think of like 3 words: battle bride,
battle horse saloon, battle horse saloon. There we go.
Battle horse bride. Battle horse brides. Take both 90-day fiance and westerns.
Yeah, it's like that's just
date those horses.
Yeah.
Maybe the horses should be mechs. They're battle horses.
Oh, yeah, the mech horses.
Okay.
We have ruined Trinket Studios.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
The infection has started.
Well, hey, definitely wanted to thank you guys for hopping on today, talking a little bit about the game. It's out now. It's been out for a couple weeks. You can find it on your platform of choice. We're gonna have definitely more to say about it from our end, but it was awesome. Here, I'm gonna just kind of get us all on the stage here. Bam! It was awesome to chat with you guys. Yeah, I'm looking forward to dive. I haven't jumped in yet, so I already have it saved. I'm wish listed on my Switch 2 over there, so I'll be hitting the button. It's actually funny.
My wife has been like bugging me for like a Christmas wish list, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll add this somewhere. I think it's digital only, but yeah, I'll be like, eShop gift card, give me.
Yeah, there you go. All right, now I know what to give you for Secret Santa, an eShop gift card to pick up this game. Well, Tom, Eric, it's awesome to have you guys on.
Thanks so much.
Where can we find you guys in the studio?
We are Trinket Studios, so that's everything. It's Trinket Studios on Blue Sky, Twitter, Facebook. I don't know, whatever the kids are using these days. Instagram, TikTok, and you can find like silly versions of ourselves and some of the game on TikTok. But yeah, I'm Trinket Tom on there, and Eric is Trinket Eric. We're really simple.
Cool. We'll be sure to follow you guys. Awesome. Thank you guys again. I'm sure we'll cross paths again real soon.
Thank you so much.
We'll send all our horse western dating game pictures over to you guys.
The gears are turning.
Yeah. Take care, guys.